Hello everyone, my name is Mbaye Mbegere. I have a PhD on environmental science. I am from the Senegal National Sanitation Utility. I'm coordinating a GATE-funded project on fecal sludge management. The objective of this presentation is just to share some comprehensive project we are already conducted in Senegal in order to show you how we can plan activities in order to improve the whole value chain of fecal sludge management, in order to help poor people accessing to affordable fecal sludge management system in order to improve their living condition. This program is funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and the whole budget is around $15 million US. And it involves several stakeholders alongside ONAS, which is the Senegal National Sanitation Utility, and the Gates Foundation are the donor. We have IPA, is an American NGO, WSA, Water and Sanitation for Africa, and these two entities deal with research activities on our project. And we have also EDA. EDA is a Senegalese company dealing with fecal sludge management technology design and accompanying ONAS also in the coordination of this project. We have Oxfam America dealing with sanitation in flood-prone areas, and also last and not the least is the Senegalese MTS Association. A very important association in our project because it allows us to be in touch with the MTS, and when we need to discuss with the MTS, this is our main contact. This project is located in Dakar, in Pikine and Guédiawaye, and we have to know that Pikine and Guédiawaye is the most inhabited place of Dakar. They have 1,200,000 inhabitants, and the standards of living is very low in Pikine and Guédiawaye because the majority of households earn less than $2 per day. Over 75% of people are on site sanitation. They use mainly pit latrine or septic tank. And sanitation is a little bit expensive because people have to spend more than $130 per year to take in charge all their sanitation issues. This photo was taken between 9 a.m. and 2 p.m. in the streets of Dhaka. You can find vacuum truck at every corner. It means that we have a huge amount of fecal sludge daily produced in Dhaka. According to this graphic, you realize that right now in Dhaka, in 2016, we produce almost 1,500 cubic meters of fecal sludge per day. And in 2030, we expect more than 2,500 cubic meters. With such a big amount of fecal sludge, we need to develop a good fecal sludge management organization in order to take correctly this waste and to protect population living condition and to protect the environment. What is the main issue in Dhaka? Manual desludging is the problem, is widespread in Dhaka. We have two modes of collection. We have mechanical desludging, we have also manual emptying. But manual emptying is predominant in Dhaka and represents more than 50%. Why these activities are predominant? Because thanks to the price. It is not too expensive, less than half the price of mechanical desludging. It requires no capital equipment, and there's no barriers to entry in this profession. We have so many issues coming out from these activities because we have strong negative externalities to surrounding neighborhood, and we have so much health consequences to these sludges and to households. And this picture is an illustration of trucks found in Dhaka. Trucks are too old. In fact, these trucks are bought second-hand in Europe after 20 years of life cycle. With such a fleet, no one can imagine a good emptying fecal sludge service quality. This is why we need to do something in order to renew this truck. Despite their age, these trucks are very useful because we found 50% fewer incidents of diarrhea among children in household using mechanical desludging. About the broken value chain in Dakar, I can say that the story in Dakar began in 1996. It not began with the gate-funded project. In 1996, the government conducted a reform where we have several decisions. Among those, we have the creation of ONAS. The government of Senegal decided to create an entity solely devoted to sanitation. This is something important. And in 2003, we work with the World Bank and we implement a big fecal sludge management program, allowing to the government to install more than 60,000 on-site sanitation facilities in Dakar. Thanks to this program also, we built 2 free fecal sludge treatment plants in Nyai, in Cambérène, and in Rufisque. And in 2005, we realized that we are operating the fecal sludge management, the fecal sludge treatment plant, and we don't have enough knowledge to operate them. And we signed a contract with the IAVAC, the Swiss Federal Institute of Aquatic Science and Technology, its Department of Water and Sanitation in Development Countries, SANDE. And thanks to this partnership, we conduct several studies in order to know how to better operate this plant, in order to know how we can deal with business from sanitation, how we can improve the fecal sludge management value chain. And in 2012, we signed with the Gate Foundation this project in order to develop fecal sludge management. Because when we complete to launch the fecal sludge treatment technology in Dakar, we realized that things are not working correctly. We realized that we have so much thing to do to organize the value chain. This is why after that, the government decided to launch this program in order to organize this value chain. On our side, we understand fecal sludge as a whole value chain, from capture to storage, transport, treatment, and reuse. The goal is to making sanitation services safe and sustainable by addressing the failure to effective collection and transport, treat and release waste captured in on-site facilities. And we realize that this program deals with each segment of this value chain. We will conduct several activities in each part of this chain in order to improve definitely the fecal sludge management value chain. What are the main expected results from this program? At the end, 200,000 additional persons will practice mechanical desludging. More than 1 million persons will improve their hygiene conditions, and the number of households practicing manual emptying will decline from 47% to 30%. From 47% to 30%. Annual household spending on sanitation evolved from $100 in 2012 to $58 at the end of this program. The volume of the treated fecal sludge will evolve also, and at least 270,000 persons in the secondary cities have access to the mechanical desludging services. Our objective, if we realize that this pilot conducting in Dakar is successful, is to disseminate the activities in the whole countries in order to improve definitely fecal sludge management in Senegal. And on the collection side, what is our main objective? Our objective is to develop collection at the household level, because we realize in Dakar 20% are concerned by flood. We have some flood prone areas, and in this condition, emptying, which is the main goal of this program, doesn't mean anything. People say we don't have on-site sanitation facilities, and our objective for these people is to develop at least 2 to 3 innovative toilet technology and services models for flood prone areas. And we expect to get a replicable business model to service up to 5,000 families in flood-prone areas of Peking by the end of this program. Our objective is also to put in place a technical and financial model replicable in Senegal, secondary cities, and other towns in Africa. And when we launched this component, we realized that we don't have technology available in Senegal for flood-prone areas. And what we do, what we did is to launch a tender at the international level. When we finished to describe all the living conditions in Pekin and Gejawai, the socio-economic condition, the physical condition, the hydrologic condition, we launched a tender to say to the expert, can you propose to us a technology which can fit correctly with the condition in Pekin and Gejawai. It was amazing because we got several proposals in all over the world. 23 countries make some proposal, and at the end we returned free toilets, one from Ghana, one from China, and one from Senegal. And the objective is to test this toilet. And after 6 months, we realized that 2 of these toilets are working correctly, and right now we are about to finalize a business model in order to see how poor people can access to this toilet, how we can make this toilet affordable. And in the transportation component, we have several activities in this component. The first thing is the certification process, because we realize everybody can conduct a mechanical emptying if you have a truck. And the government say we need to stop and we need to develop some criteria people need to respect before becoming an MTS. And along example of criteria, you cannot have a truck with a tank not watertight. The pipe you use in your truck, which be in a good condition. You need to have some protective equipment for your personnel. We have several conditions fixed by the government, and if you respect this condition, you get a license. You have this license, now you can practice. And if you don't respect the job, or if you don't work correctly, you can lose your license after 1 year or 3 years of activities. We also develop in Dakar something very important is a call center. The call center will match the supply and the demand. Our objective is just to make MTS in competition. Because we realized in the beginning, it exists so much collusion between MTS. If you go in a garage and you discuss with an MTS, if you don't agree with them, his colleague cannot propose something else. And with this competition, we expect to decrease the price of these emptying activities. We realize also that MTS doesn't access to credit. They don't access to credit because they are not enough guarantee to offer to the bank in order to get credit, and in this condition they cannot renew the fleet. It is why the trucks are very old, and our objective is to put a guarantee fund in a bank in order to help these MTS accessing to credit and getting money and buy new truck. This is one objective of this project also. And we have also to test some innovative technology like the Omni ingester, like the Omni processor. We'll talk a little bit more about that later on. And our objective is also to increase the access to mechanized dislodging through improved payment system. We realize that the population of Pekin and Gejawai don't have any tradition of saving. In these conditions, the payment of regular and significant amount for emptying their pit can be sometimes difficult or impossible. This is why in this part of the project, we try to experiment or to test several payment modes in order to see what is the best mode of payment for these poor people in order to get access to emptying. For instance, instead of paying once your emptying pit, you can pay for 3 months. This emptying, and in this condition we can realize also it can work. We can also propose some other mode, payment in the full at time of services. This is a problem. Payment at monthly billing, or we develop some EMI where people put fund aside in order to use this fund for emptying later. And what about the call center? As I explained earlier, the objective is to avoid competition, collusion between MTS, and to enhance the competition between them. When you want to empty your pit, the customer will call the call center when they need a dislodging service. Affiliated and independent dislodging operators are invited to submit an offer. call for bids go over cell phone text message. But what you have to explain, before we implement that, we need to reference Pekin and Gejawai. Right now, we reference all households in Pekin and Gejawai, and we know the sanitary condition in each household. Does this household get a septic tank, a latrine? Is the septic tank accessible? We get all the information, and also we reference all the trucks in Dhaka, and we geolocalize these trucks. Every morning we know where these trucks are, and then we build an IT platform. And thanks to this platform, when someone calls, we know where this guy is, what are the main sanitation conditions at his household, and directly the IT platform will select randomly 10 emptiers and say, one household want to empty its fits. Can you propose something? And we get several proposals coming from this guy. And when it left 15 minutes before we end the competition, we send another mail to these emptiers just saying the best proposal is that. If you want to get the job, you have to propose something else. It is, and in this condition, we realize that we can decrease a lot the cost of the emptying. And when you see these figures, we show how we can decrease the cost of the emptying of the emptying pit. The price is really decreasing. This is something very, very important. And also we realize that when we look at the existing data from the treatment center dumping loads, the data suggests that mechanized sludging has increased substantially in Dhaka since the scale-up of the project in the end of 2013. And right now, more people rely on fecal, on mechanical emptying. We work also, it is our objective to decrease the manual emptying in Dhaka. And this picture shows the new truck we got in Dhaka. Right now, thanks to this program, 18 trucks are in circulation in Dhaka, and we are about to get 18 new trucks also in Dhaka. And when all these things are moving correctly, we will impact also in the decreasing of the cost. What we plan to do, or what we did in the processing unit, we have to know that in Dhaka we have 3 fecal sludge processing units in operation, in Camberen, in Rufus, and in Nyai, in Pekin. And in the beginning, we realized on us faced several difficulties to operate correctly this plant. This plant was not profitable, and on us say every time that I lose so much money to operate this plant. And the first thing we do is to privatize this plant. We launch a tender, and we select a company, a private company, which is responsible for the operation. And the result is quite amazing, because since this privatization, we turn from loss to profit. And right now, on us get every month cash from this fecal sludge treatment plant. This is something very important, because in the perspective of building new fecal treatment plant, the private sector can involve itself on it, because they will know by operating correctly a fecal treatment plant, we can get some cash. And our objective is also to put in place a conducive policy and regulatory framework to increase private sector participation and private investment. And in this component also, we implement a new system called the omniprocessor. What is the omniprocessor? Because on us is about, or its objective is to make a paradigm shift. We want to get business from sanitation. And to get business from sanitation, to make sanitation profitable, you need to be able to create some added value. And it is why the objective is to implement, instead of the classical technology we have right now, right, settling tank, drying bed, we need to go further in this perspective. And the objective is to implement a new machine able to produce electricity, able to produce ash, able to produce drinking water. And when we do that, we can get some cash and turn completely the situation. And what is the objective of this omnipressor component? Is to develop a sustainable business model for energy, water, and fertilizers production from fecal sludge and its valorization. Our objective is to dispose of an efficient technology, have a profitable business model, have a well-defined legal and regulatory framework, have a motivated private sector which accepts and has the capacity to disseminate the model. And we plan also to put in place an adapted PPP model for the production of high added value from fecal sludge. This is, you have Bill Gates drinking the water from fecal sludge. This was in Seattle. And this is the omniprocessor in Dakar. And this machine can produce several byproducts. We can have electricity, 150 kilowatt per day, drinking water, 11 cubic meter per day, and the footprint is less than 200 square meter. And we can also produce ash around 28 cubic meter. And with this ash, we can, that we can use as fertilizer. With the electricity and with also the drinking water, we can have enough added value, enough money to make the working of this machine profitable. And the objective of us, if it works, is to get several machines like this in the whole countries in order to change definitely the face of sanitation. Thank you very much.